Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 442 based on novel. So let's start. It seems that I still underestimated the blessings of Fen Zhu and Xiao Yan. Feeling such a fierce defensive force, Xiao Yan couldn't help but say with joy. Now that Fen Zhu has only successfully cultivated the first level, he has such terrifying power. If it is the second level, what about the third level or higher? The first realm of Fen Zhu burned the foundation, allowing Xiao Yang's body to get the most powerful distraction, and the change on his body was completely a gift. Even so, this terrifying increase was only second to the dragon god transformation. The elf man Seer looked very solemn. Seeing that his terrifying attack did not break through Xiao Yang's defense, his eyes became more and more cold. Ice spirit, spiritual power, anger and murderous intent surged together, and bursts of fierce and cold mist emerged from Searle's hands, which immediately formed a cold handprint, and gradually a cold wind burst into the void, slowly taking shape. What kind of power is this? Different from the power of ordinary 8-star fighting immortals, is it not the power of reincarnation that is worthy of stepping into reincarnation? Xiao Yang stared at the cold seal on Searle's palm, the corners of his eyes suddenly wrinkled, the feeling was extremely special. The seal of cold took shape suddenly, and Seer suddenly pushed Xiao Yang, and the handprint of ice with a size of hundreds of meters, accompanied by a whistling cold mist, rose into the sky. Boom! The cold handprints raged towards Xiao Yang, the void became quiet along the way, and countless cold flakes appeared strangely from the void, as if the entire space was frozen. Give me death! Searle and Aisha stood quietly in the distance, looking at the power of ice in the void. The former couldn't help sneering. Master Xiao Yang. Seeing this, Joshin hurriedly shouted, and brown flames appeared all over his body, trying to rescue Xiao Yang, but unfortunately his strength was too different from Searle, and he was destined to be unable to help Xiao Yang. It seems that this elf family does have some confidence. Xiao Yang's eyes became indifferent, feeling the chilling breath in front of him, he sneered. Holy flame armor! Holy fist! The amber flame slightly overflowed from the body, and immediately bathed on Xiao Yang's fist, like a layer of colorful gems, extremely gorgeous. The fire-type bucket core was contained, and the overwhelming terrifying flames burst out directly from Xiao Yang's body, emitting in the void, vaguely confronting those ice powers. The majestic power of ice and flame attacked together in an instant, and the entire void swayed and swayed, as if it would collapse completely at any time. Whoa! Although the frost handprint is only 100 feet in size, the mysterious power of the Ice Elf Sea is poured into it. The lines of light are extremely mysterious, absorbing all the power in this void. As for Xiao Yang, with the blessing of amber holy flame on the fist, the whole fist looked unusually rough and fierce, and then the fist suddenly flipped upwards, instantly pressing against the imprint of the ice, and the aura was like a meteorite that made one's heart palpitate. Crack! A burst of terrifying shattering sounds slowly swept out. Suddenly, on the seal of ice, on the countless cold lines, faint cracks appeared, and crisp sounds emerged. On the other hand, Xiao Yang's holy flame fist appeared. The power of the flame does not decrease but increases. This kid. Seeing this scene, Seer couldn't help but get nervous. Xiao Yang stopped him several times, and he could feel that Xiao Yang didn't seem to be using all his strength. Ended. Before Aisha and Seer could make a move, the core inscription in Xiao Yang's body rolled, and a green energy formed a full 80,000 core formations, imprisoning the void of the two bodies. The green pattern is looming, like huge stone pillars, Tengman and other things, and there is still the suppression of amber flame power. Lord Xiao Yang? Seeing such a scene, Joshin's eyelids jumped violently, and his face became extremely strange. You too, the abacus is good. After doing all this, Xiao Yang put away the power in his body, and immediately approached them slowly. Boy, what are you doing? Although his body was bound by the power of Xiao Yang's formation, Searle took one step forward and blocked Aisha's side with difficulty, staring at Xiao Yang with serious eyes. The attack just now really made him underestimate the enemy, but Seer also knew that the strange flame on Xiao Yang's body and such a tyrannical body were enough to make up for the difference in strength between the two of them and defeat him in his hands. No loss. Go away. Xiao Yang didn't have time to waste time with this stupid big man. With a wave of his hand, the patterned beam of light viciously shot him back dozens of meters. Your name is Elsa. People from the western tribe of the Fire Elves. Xiao Yang walked over to Aisha, with an arrogant smile on the corner of his mouth. So what? If you dare to touch me, my sister will not only let you die without a burial, but your friend will also be implicated by you. Our fire elves are not a race that a mere outsider like you can compete for inheritance. The elf girl Aisha was covered and entwined with energy, which was indescribably lovely, but before the blushing on her little face subsided, she roared at Xiao Yang, and the pride in her words was extremely obvious. Xiao Yang walked towards the elf girl step by step, but the cold killing intent on his body was a real energy, suppressing Aisha's breath and becoming dignified. Whoa! I hate your high-spirited attitude the most in my life. Even if you are a fire elves, what should you do? If anything goes wrong with my brother Xiao Yi among your fire elves, I will wipe out your entire race. Xiao Yang stretched out his palm, directly opened his hand and grabbed Aisha's chin, and immediately lifted it up, revealing an extremely delicate face without any concealment. Those perfect looks and faces are different from human beings. They have both the vigor and beauty of human beings and the noble elegance of the elves. Aisha was frightened by Xiao Yang's actions, and she didn't respond for a long time. Obviously, the terrifying killing intent on Xiao Yang's body made her arrogance calm down, and even her body trembled slightly. From childhood to adulthood, no one dared to do such a thing to himself. Aisha is a noble being of the Fire Elves family in the Western tribe. Although her strength is only the 8-star Do's Yan who touches reincarnation, her elder sister is the most tyrannical being in the Western tribe. Alice, a reincarnation step. But for other information, there is no way for the subordinates to investigate. After all, the defenses of the Western tribe are extremely strict. Joshin walked over and told Xiao Yang the little information he knew. Is it Elsa? Tell me what you know about the Western tribe, or else. Otherwise I wouldn't mind doing some frivolous things. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, he cast his eyes on Aisha and scrutinized her from head to toe, but soon Xiao Yang's normally calm face changed very obviously, as if he was attracted by something. There was a hint of other charm in his eyes. This young lady is the pride of the Western tribe. If you dare to do anything wrong to me, my sister will definitely not be able to spare you. Being so provoked by Xiao Yang's words, there was obvious panic on Aisha's little face, and the elf aura on her body instantly subsided. This graceful figure is truly a gift from nature. Xiao Yang saw that this guy hadn't realized the seriousness of the matter, so he immediately raised his palm, followed the side of Aisha's lower jaw, and slowly pulled the pulley down. Even with the isolation of clothes, being touched by Xiao Yang at such a distance, Aisha's delicate body trembled abruptly, the hairs all over her body stood on end, and a touch of fear came to her heart. The elves are mostly female elves, and their beauty and appearance are the best choice, which has also caused their extreme love for their bodies, and even created a kind of almost twisted cleanliness. This kind of love is in the possession of royal family. It is more obvious among the blood elves. Therefore, their delicate bodies have already become their restricted areas, and they cannot be touched. In the distance, Sile's eyes were red, like a beast who wanted to attack Xiao Yang, but unfortunately, under the shackles of the formation pattern and the power of the holy flame, he couldn't move at all. Xiao Yang followed the trend, no matter whether it was Xiao Lu's waist that Ying Ying held, or her long, slender and ***** legs, and her perfectly exposed feet, all of them had unique charm, but Xiao Yang's eyes were lost at this moment, as if I was hooked by the girl in front of me. After a while, Aisha suddenly went mad and yelled, her beautiful long hair standing upside down, as terrifying as fried hair. Enough! What do you want to know? Aisha was so embarrassed that she could do nothing to Xiao Yang. She roared angrily, her beautiful eyes stared at Xiao Yang fiercely, wishing to eat Xiao Yang alive. That's right. I don't want to know much. The general strength of your West tribe and Alice's actual strength. Xiao Yang retracted his palm, but Xiao Yang vaguely sensed that his actions just now seemed a little impulsive. It is a pity that Xiao Yang naturally does not know that above the royal bloodline of the elves, especially the female elves are the most prominent, more or less will have some charming and attractive power, plus Xiao Yang's anxiety towards Xiao Yi, so attracted by the mysterious power of Aisha, I did this kind of thing in a moment of loss. However, Xiao Yang didn't even know that for elves to do such a thing, it was no less than the matter of men and women living in the same room in the human world. Among the Fire Elf Western tribe, Sister Alice's strength has reached the first level of reincarnation. She is one of the 3 main contenders for the heir to the Fire Elf clan. Both attack and defense are comparable to the peak level of the first level. As for the other personnel, there are 2 first-level reincarnations, and a number of 8-star fighting immortals. Aisha gritted her teeth. Even if she was bound by the energy Tengman, she struggled violently, like a rebellious little wild cat, full of wildness. Just like that. Xiao Yang was dumbfounded. It seemed that this was not what he expected. So Xiao Yang doesn't know that, among the 3 major tribes, there are chiefs and elders of their own tribes, but for the election of the successor, the powerhouses who are now stronger than Samsara have all been called to the northern fire elves. In the headquarters, the remaining 3 tribes are based on 3 competitors to form their own forces. This is also the rule set by the fire elves during the election period, and the rules will be followed for generations. Jiuxin hurriedly explained to Xiao Yang. I see. Let's go, then go to Xiao Yi first. Xiao Yang nodded. It seemed that the next itinerary would become extremely interesting. What about these 2 guys? Jiuxin asked. After all, this Aisha's identity is not low, and if the kind of thing Xiao Yang did just now, if it were passed back to the Western tribe, I am afraid it would lead to a complete war between the 2 tribes. Let's just kill it. Save the trouble. Xiao Yang said indifferently. Hearing Xiao Yang's decisiveness, Aisha's face even showed a hint of consternation. The eldest young lady of the dignified Western tribe, with the blood of the Fire Elves' royal family, and calling for wind and rain in the Fire Elves' family, how could she be like an unimportant figure here? Said to kill, just kill? Why, do you have an opinion? The fierce attack in Xiao Yang's hands had already been brewing, the amber flame was burning violently, and he immediately looked at Aisha with a smile, with a harmless look on his face. I am. No. I'm Sister Alice's younger sister. You take me with you. Sister, she will definitely give you some water, so you can't kill me. At this time, Aisha's little brain seemed to have learned to be smart, and even discussed it with Xiao Yang. So, Xiao Yang spoke out, making a thoughtful appearance. You can't kill us, you have to take us and keep us safe. Of course, you can use this to blackmail Sister Alice. My sister and I have a very good relationship, and she will definitely not ignore me. Aisha pouted and said, but this incident made her hate and angry. Okay, let's knock it out and take it away. As for this guy, it's a scourge to keep it, so he'll be stunned and sent back to your Western tribe. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, he performed his movements skillfully, knocking them out instantly, and immediately asked Jiuxin to formulate a void root, and directly formulated a ray of energy to send Xia back. After all, Xiao Yang wants to play a long line and fish big fish. As for Aisha, she carries it with her for emergencies. Just like this, the 2 of them accelerated their speed and went directly to the Fire Elf Station, the Sea of Sky Space. Whoa! In the quiet space, without the interference of other people, Xiao Yang and the 2 were extremely fast, but it would take some time to spare. At this time, a flaming stone on Jiuxin's body suddenly erupted with an extremely harsh humming sound as if there was some movement. What is this? Xiao Yang smelled a trace of ancient fluctuations from the flame stone. This is the induction stone in our tribe. It seems that someone is in the void under our feet. My lord, are you shattering the void? Let's get out of here. Aisha and the others came here. I'm afraid they are eager to make a contribution. I'm worried that if my news is leaked, I will be caught by the guys from the Western tribe at the exit of the passage. Jiuxin looked at the void around him and said tremblingly, Okay. Xiao Yang raised his eyes and looked at the light mouth of the space channel in the distance. For some reason, there was a trace of extremely strange fluctuations. After seeing Jiuxin's expression, he nodded immediately. Go. Just let me get to know the so-called fire elves. Xiao Yang's hands were filled with dazzling amber flames, and then he suddenly hit the void passage, the void shattered, and before the time-turbulent flow emerged, the 2 bodies directly submerged into it. But when they disappeared, in order to hide people's eyes and ears, they were still there. Make the void intact as before, so as to hide the sky and cross the sea. In this way, Xiao Yang and the 3 did not reach the exit of the space passage of the Xiaoyi tribe, and directly shattered the void in the middle and entered the space of the Sea of the Sky of the Fire Elves. The Sea of the Sky. The Holy Land of the Spirits. This is a holy land with many elf creatures gathered, stretching for almost 10,000 miles. Whether it is the stability of space or the abundance of energy from heaven and earth, it is far prosperous in Dudi continent, and the elves are the superpowers that rank first in the world. Power, so there are not many natural enemies, and they live comfortably here. Elves are synonymous with the symbol of beauty. They are good at the production and reproduction of art, noble decorations, elegant words and deeds, smart, beautiful, almost integrated with nature, basically living in forests and forming huge creatures. The group is very deep into witchcraft. The elves love peace. Except for the royal family, most of the common elves are friendly and equal among the major groups. They are beautiful and kind, but they are particularly hostile to evil forces. Among the elves, women are the majority, so here, women's dominance has reached its peak, which is one of the reasons why Xiao Yi is resisted by the other 2 electors. 3 candidates. 2 women and 1 man. In a quiet bamboo forest in the huge space of the Sea of Sky, here the creek is humming and flowing, and the scenery is beautiful, but next to the creek, there is a strange spacelight door, which contains an extremely huge space power. Look. In this way, it seems that someone is going here through the void passage, and at this time, the 3 figures are sitting here leisurely, as if waiting for something. Among the 3, the strength is not bad, and even the strength of the leader has reached an extremely terrifying level. That girl, Elsa, is really worrying. Among the 3, the woman in the lead just spoke when a melodious voice emerged, but it made the entire bamboo forest stream feel peaceful and peaceful. Look up. Since the source of the sound is an extremely beautiful and noble woman. The woman has pointed ears that are slightly longer than humans, blonde hair and blue eyes, and her whole body is shining with a shimmering luster like a crystal. What is even more strange is that there is actually a pair of butterfly wings behind her, which is as beautiful as a butterfly spirit. It is also engraved with a trace of mysterious lines, adding a lot of mysterious atmosphere to it. His Royal Highness, although Miss Aisha is playful, she has been taught a lot by you on weekdays, so in this special period, she should be more eager to make contributions. However, in the opinion of my subordinates, although Miss Aisha's actions are inappropriate, it is for the public and private, and everything she does is for Her Royal Highness. In addition, there is an ice spirit, and Sile is by her side to protect her, so nothing should happen. The 2 women beside the beautiful elf woman hurriedly said. Except for the leading woman, who is immortal, the other 2 women still look like elf women, but compared with the first one, both in terms of strength and temperament, they are quite different. Princess Alice, Lord of the Fire Elf Western Tribe. Hope so. But this girl is real. She was so active during this battle. I have never seen her so active in the past. Forget it, we'll keep it here, and once that Xiao Yang from the Endless Fire territory arrives, we'll kill him on the spot. I need the holy flame on him to turn on that thing in our clan. As for the things on Xiao Yi's body, they naturally cannot escape my palm. The butterfly-winged elf Alice spoke indifferently, her eyes fixed on the void light gate in front of her, and her voice was very leisurely, as if she had already controlled everything in her heart. Yes, but, Your Royal Highness, this guy is rumored to be only in the middle stage of the 8-star fighting immortal. Do we really need the 3 of us to take action together? Did you make a big deal out of it? The 2 guards around him didn't understand and asked in a low voice. It is rumored that the Endless Fire territory has an affair with many forces in the demon world and the ghost world. I worry that he is the biggest change in the matter. So I would rather believe it than have it. Wait. As for Xiao Yi, I have sent the chief of this tribe and 2 elf elders to go together with the elite, and come out of the nest, trying to completely conquer them today. After speaking, silence has returned to here. The void shattered, Xiao Yang and the 2 came to the Sea of Sky, but they failed to cross the space passage to the southern Luo Xiaoyi station, and they went to the edge space of the Sea of Sky, and they simply avoided a fierce battle. After all, Ellie is a candidate for Sai, her first-level reincarnation strength is far from the first level of ordinary human beings. Here is a sea of flowers, abundant energy overflowing everywhere, and the fragrance of birds and flowers, quite a sense of sight of a fairyland on earth. Where is the source of the breath? Xiao Yang looked around, but did not sense any power, and frowned. Sir, over here. After Joshin finished speaking, he ran directly to the hill in the sea of flowers, and walked along the side road, very eager. It's really troublesome. But I have to say that female elves are really beautiful. Xiao Yang straddled Aisha around his waist, then his speed skyrocketed and followed. In the distance of the sea of flowers. Damn it. You guys from the Western tribe are so despicable. 3 elf men stand here, and they surround an elf man in the center, forming a situation of many enemies and few enemies. The violent energy fluctuations on their bodies make the aura in this sea of flowers particularly dignified. Okay, let's save all this nonsense when I go back to see Her Royal Highness Princess Alice. The leader took a step forward, and the majestic force tilted down like a galaxy, trying to bind the elf man who fell on the ground. The 3 elites, each of whom has a good aura, all have the perfect strength of the 8-star fighting immortals, and even the strength of the leader has reached the rare reincarnation level. With such a terrifying lineup, I am afraid that this kind of fire elf superpower can do it. Take the shot. The besieged elfman's face was pale, blood was constantly spilling from the corners of his mouth, and his eyes were filled with endless anger as he stared at the 3 of them. You worms of the Western tribe, what do you know? Master Xiao Yi is not only talented, but also bears the imprint of the holy flame of reincarnation. He is the real heir. Although the other 2 princesses have royal blood, they are far worse than Lord Xiao Yi. The miserable elf man's complexion was twisted and then roared, the dazzling energy all over his body began to shake, and it seemed that a big trick was about to be used. Hey. Your strength is indeed the reincarnation level, but the combined strength of the three of us is enough to deal with the real first-level reincarnation level. So, let's capture it. Above the four bodies, a dazzling silver light suddenly appeared, and immediately completely suppressed the movement of the injured elf man. The elf man was jointly suppressed by the three, and his breath fell into depression immediately, and his eyes were full of turbidity and unwillingness. Lord Xiao Yang, this is the bodyguard next to Lord Xiao Yi, Shimo. The reincarnation level strength is the personal guard that Mr. Yi trusts very much. If even he is captured, I am afraid that the guys from the Western tribe have launched a general attack on us, and Mr. Yi's situation is in jeopardy. Immediately, Joshin's expression became vigilant at the same time. Next, Xiao Yang gently handed Aisha to Joshin, and immediately his body turned into a black shadow, which emerged directly into the sea of flowers in the distance. The Lord of Fireguard and the dazzling soul power made Xiao Yang like a ghost, quietly avoiding the detection of the three, and surrounding the injured man. All right. Stop talking nonsense. Although the election is an internal strife of our fire elves, the elves' headquarters have ordered that deathmatch is strictly prohibited, so next, you may be wronged to enter the cage. As for the other powerhouses in your southern tribe, they couldn't escape the princess's palm in the end. Among the three, the two men in Xingyi were all 8-star Dozian consummation. The leading man in red robe raised his palm, and the surging Do-Chi energy emerged, and the silver halo was like a strong rope that had been exerted with special power, just now. When it appeared, it landed directly on the injured man Shimo, tying up all the remaining power in his body, making him unable to move. Crack. With a bang, when this terrifying power fell, the entire world outside suddenly became dark, and an inexplicable strange breath formed an energy barrier under his eyelids, covering the void. In the energy barrier, tens of thousands of forest plants and trees suddenly grew wildly, instantly binding the three hostile elf men. The array space, the array of immortal silk and vine, is still an enhanced version. Who? Hugh, pretend to be a ghost, get out. The three of them looked at each other, feeling this majestic seal energy. The leader in red robe couldn't help but said, "Haha, dear old friend." When the voice fell, Xiao Yang's figure suddenly appeared from the dying elf man. In the surging void, the injured elf man was easily swept into the void and rescued. Humanity. Bold human beings, dare to break into the space of our elven holy land, let me wait for you to be captured and handed over to the princess. The voice fell, and the terrifying power brewed out of the three of them, and quickly blasted away at the void under the formation space. The appearance of humans and elves is still very distinguishable, and the aura of elves and humans is too different, and the space of the sea of the sky is extremely mysterious. Into it, but now the situation is tense, the three naturally ignore these issues. Humanity. The injured man felt that his body quickly left here, and the mysterious formation in the sea of flowers surrounded the three strong men, and immediately looked at Xiao Yang. Boy, where are you running? Elf secret technique, Wanling butterfly. The leader of the red robe figure roared, and a silver energy butterfly shadow suddenly condensed on Baiji's palm, launched the attack first, and quickly chased after Xiao Yang. Bang bang bang. The energy butterfly shadow seems to be weak, only a few dozen feet in size, but wherever it passes along the way, the void trembles slightly, and the power of the formation cannot be restrained. It is carrying extremely terrifying destructive power and whistles out. Humph. Seeing this, Xiao Yang sneered, the fighting spirit and the flame in the body waved together, the surging fighting chi energy directly formed a fierce shadow of the immortal sparrow, spread its wings and whistled towards the butterfly shadow. Boom. The two attacked and contacted, and the energy contained in the second attack instantly expanded and exploded, and the hot energy caused the temperature here to rise a lot unconsciously. Boom. Xiao Yang disappeared. Immediately, in this sea of flowers, the formations wriggled, and some thick trees appeared, blocking the progress of the three people who were imprisoned. Damn human boy, go. We will destroy this formation together. The red-robed elf man roared, the three nodded, and the energy swept out of their bodies, followed by terrifying attacks, which instantly shattered the formation, leaving traces of shattering. Joshin, you are not. Xiao Yang took the injured man out of the formation space and handed it over to Joshin, and immediately showed signs of returning to the battlefield. Wait, could this be? Suddenly, the pale face of the elf man seemed to sense something, and his eyes were fixed on Xiao Yang. You stay here, you'll be fine soon. When I'm done with this place, take me to Xiao Yi. The voice fell, and Xiao Yang returned the same way without seeing him. Is this the brother Xiao Yi called him? Sure enough, you have great spirit. Hey, Joshin, why does this comatose woman beside you resemble Miss Aisha from the Western tribe? Although the power of the formation is not bad, Xiao Yang can barely cast 90,000 formation patterns, which is still enough to deal with the ordinary 8-star fighting immortals. If facing this kind of reincarnation, at least 100,000 formations are needed. Although the wood attribute imprisoning formation with the blessing of the 90,000 Taoist formations is terrifying, it is still extremely difficult to deal with 2 8-star fighting immortals and a true reincarnation rank. Bang bang bang! The formation space was continuously attacked by 3 people, and bursts of harsh energy explosions emerged, and I am afraid that it will be completely shattered in a short time. Did you play well? Just when the formation was about to shatter, the whole world suddenly had a strong aura of hot molten lava emerge. The lava seemed to have just erupted from the crater. It was amber in shape and extremely magnificent. There was even a figure in it, walking out slowly like a fire god. What kind of flame is this? The red-robed elf man squinted his eyes, his slightly sharp ears exuded a strange wave, his eyes locked tightly on the amber molten liquid around Xiao Yang. It seemed that the power of flames of that level was emitting invisibly. A wave that made his heart palpitate. Immortal underworld sparrow. Holy flame armor. Xiao Yang roared, and the amber-colored lava directly irrigated his body. The gorgeous holy flame armor gave Xiao Yang a strong defense, and behind him, a violent and ferocious animal soul emerged together. Particularly striking. Brother, this guy is tricking, let me try. One of the 2 green-clothed elves around him roared, then his body trembled and jumped directly over. Eat my palm! The Xingyi elf just appeared not far from Xiao Yang, and with a roar, a brown flame lingered in his palm, faint traces of burning patterns emerged, and the offensive swept towards Xiao Yang like lightning. Xiao Yang also raised his palm, and under the blessing of 2 forces, his body rose into the air, and the terrifying fluctuations of fighting chi were undoubtedly displayed at this time, and he attacked the elf man in blue. The 2 of them held each other's hands. The palms of the man in blue shrugged violently, and his body instantly shot back towards the back. There were traces of blood on the corners of his mouth, and his arms seemed to be dislocated and out of control. The third one. Looking at this scene, the other 2 elf men looked at each other, the urgent voice in their eyes was very obvious, and the speed skyrocketed and went towards the man in blue. The man in Xingyi forcibly held back the stabbing pain from his arm and stared at Xiao Yang with resentment. At this time, he was extremely unwilling and unbelievable. Why does this guy who looks extremely weak have such strange strength? It's really weak enough. Don't waste my time, let's come together. After all of you are dealt with, I have to collect the body of the Princess Alice you mentioned. Xiao Yang clapped his hands, with provocation and laziness in his eyes. It seemed that every word at this moment was just an extremely simple action. But Xiao Yang's purpose is also very obvious. Just use these 3 people to try the power that I have controlled so far. Whether it is fire attribute or thunderwood, etc., how far can it be achieved? Human, I see that you are not strong, but your tone is not small. But your excellency trespassed into our elves' holy land without authorization, and it touched the rules of our elves. Our elves are extremely hospitable, and we won't do anything to you. At most, it's just abolishing your vindictiveness and kicking it out. The 3 elf men took the lead. The space around the red-robed man fluctuated slightly, looked around indifferently, and found that Xiao Yang did not have any accomplices. His eyes couldn't help being replaced by a cold light. The 3 of them are the leaders of the fire elves in the Western tribe, and with the 3 of them working together, even the first reincarnation rank can be tied. Moreover, if it wasn't for the fear of the strange flame on Xiao Yang's body, the 3 of them would have already started. Join us. Suppress him together, or else things will change. On the bodies of the 3 people, a smear of brown flames emerged, and then turned into strange clouds and mists on the top of the 3 people's heads. It seemed that there was a ferocious beast looming, and the ferocious beast contained what a terrifying majestic power. Huge beast eyes spread out from the cloud and mist, staring at Xiao Yang, making the blood on Xiao Yang's body become icy cold. A creature of that level, if you convert the strength of humans, I am afraid that it is a super creature that is comparable to the human reincarnation level. Is it a special method for the fire elves to summon energy elves using the fighting spirit energy in the 3 people's bodies? I like it, so come on. Xiao Yang sneered, his footsteps straddled out in an instant, and endless fighting spirit emerged. With the addition of the undead ghost fighting spirit and the increase of the holy flame armor, Xiao Yang's combat power was a bit terrifying, like a majestic Admiral Terror. For Xiao Yang, the best way to improve his strength is to fight, and it is a leapfrog battle. However, if he wants to step into reincarnation, he probably needs a bigger chance, so Xiao Yang didn't have any more convenient way for a while. The power of fusion, elves, Lei Sai Beast. The three people's voices were unusually low, and after breathing, 3 brown flames appeared, gathered, and directly summoned the giant figure in the mist. In the sky of the formation space, there were ferocious and whistling silver thunderclouds, and a magnificent creature stepped out of the thundercloud slowly, and every move made the formation space here tremble slightly, like a piece of tissue paper. It will completely collapse at any time. Broken in general. The Lei Sai Beast is bathed in the turbulent thunder, as mighty as a griffin. Above the man'er, the endless thunder power fills the eyes, as if a thunder dominates all life here. Thunder. Since that's the case. Lei. Xiao Yang let out a roar, and all the power around his body, including the holy flame, was directly withdrawn. The grey thunderbolt was like an energy shackle, and it appeared directly on Xiao Yang's skin. The arrogant head let out a terrifying roar. That feeling is like the thunder on Xiao Yang's body is provoking Lei Sai Beast as the supreme authority of the thunder-type energy elf, and Lei Sai Beast is declaring war on Xiao Yang. How can it be? The faces of the 3 elf men were extremely ugly. Looking at Xiao Yang's body with a trace of grey lightning, their eyelids twitched violently, and they couldn't help but hesitate. With that level of thunder power, its power even surpasses that of Lei Sai Beast. Lei Sai Beast is an extremely tyrannical creature among the thunder attribute creatures, and there are very few thunders that can surpass its own thunder power. Lei Di is here. Shenju, lightning ball. Xiao Yang roared angrily, and in his dark eyes there were endless grey thunder lights emerging. Suddenly, the thunder power in the entire sky quickly approached Xiao Yang's body. One after another muffled thunder sound came out from Xiao Yang's body, but the 3 elf men suddenly saw extremely bright grey thunder erupted above Xiao Yang's body. The frantic flow in the body did not cause any loss. Even under the scorching and moisturizing of this power, Xiao Yang's body became incomparably strong. Countless rolling thunders, falling thunders, vaguely all converged towards Xiao Yang's palm. A small grey sun rising, containing fluctuations like destroying the sky and destroying the earth, brewing out. Lei Simon, attack. Looking at the extremely strange grey thundering suns on Xiao Yang's body, the aura of power in them actually made the eyelids of the 3 of them tremble violently, and they were about to tilt all the power into the Lei Sai Beast. Among the 3 of them, the one who is tyrannical is not alone, but the combined power of the 3. Lei Sai Beast stepped out, and wherever the thundering thunder went, the void could not help twisting, and the whole body was extremely fast, like a thunder sun killing Xiao Yang. However, Xiao Yang found that the stability of the space here is extremely terrifying. If an attack of this level was placed on the Do Di continent, the void would have already collapsed, but there was only such a change in this place. It can be seen that this so-called sky the stability of the sea space. Halfway through, the Lei Sai Beast's man'er stood up, and countless dazzling thunder powers whizzed past Xiao Yang directly below. Crack! The thunder on Xiao Yang's body trembled, and then the aftermath of the lightning ball brewing in his palm suddenly flew towards the sky, and the extra attack of Lei Sai Beast was easily disintegrated by it. The rest is the real confrontation between the 2. Boom! After the blink of an eye, Xiao Yang's attack was brewing. In the entire space of the formation, light lingered on the grey ball of lightning. On Xiao Yang's arm, a ball of grey light that was no more than an inch was like a heart, buzzing. Ming jumped up. Every time it beats, the Lei Sai Beast above the sky becomes furious. Crack! 2 attacks followed one after another, and the space of the formation was shaky. Boom! The deafening sound of thunder appeared completely, and immediately everyone saw that, above the heart-like lightning ball, suddenly there were countless grey lines of grey thunder that appeared like chains, and they contained the power of extremely violent thunder, knocking Lei Sai. The body of the beast is tightly bound. Bound by this strange grey thunder, and even the thunder ball in Xiao Yang's palm exuded an extremely greedy aura, Lei Sai Beast finally realized the danger of Xiao Yang, but unfortunately it was too late. Wait. The Lei Sai Beast was restrained. Countless attacks collapsed. Just as Xiao Yang was about to strangle the latter, the thunder core that had always been quiet in his body suddenly moved, and a steady stream of grey thunderbolts burst out, driving Xiao Yang along. The body quickly approached Lei Sai Beast. That feeling is like coveting the life of Lei Simon. Perhaps, the power of thunder in its body? Boom! A deafening voice emerged, and Xiao Yang's figure, under the control of grey thunder, instantly approached Lei Sai Beast. This lunatic. Kill him. At this moment, the killing intent in the eyes of the 3 people fluctuated, and the endless power was like a vast ocean, raging out. The elf finger, sacred heaven's seal, fire spirit palm. With 3 unusually sturdy voices, they attacked Xiao Yan in the formation space with their backhands. Above the energy beam, there was a strong aura of death flowing. As for Xiao Yan above the sky, his eyes were slightly closed at this time, the power of the lightning ball above his palm was dimmed, and all the energy in the immobile lacy beast was slowly injected into Xiao Yang under everyone's attention. Inside the body, Xiao Yang's already fierce body and Lei Mang looked even more terrifying than before. This video will end here.